Water started flooding the helmet and quickly rose past the nose. A showdown between the rookie and the veteran had officially begun. 3 minutes passed, and the instructor was already struggling. At the 4-minute mark, blood started dripping from his nose, but he kept forcing himself to hang on. The others rushed in and opened the helmet. Carl had won, but all he got in return was yelling and insults. The headmaster pulled the instructor aside and told him to find a way to expel Carl, because he would never allow a black man to graduate from the school. The instructor felt conflicted after their match, but he couldn't disobey orders. He told Carl not to show up for the final exam, because the school would never let him pass. But Carl refused to back down. The instructor snapped and smashed Carl's radio, but on it were 4 letters: never give up. A message from Carl's father. The next day, the exam began, and Carl still showed up. The test required diving underwater and correctly assembling a structure using a tool kit. Everyone dropped their kits into the water. That's when the headmaster gave the order. He told his men to cut open Carl's kit before tossing it in. All the parts scattered to the bottom of the ocean. Carl had to search for each one by hand. An hour and 37 minutes later, the first person resurfaced. For hours in, everyone except Carl had finished. The water was near freezing. The last guy to come up was shivering violently. As the sky darkened and the temperature dropped, Carl was still working. His face turned pale, and his hands wouldn't stop shaking. But he didn't stop. The instructor couldn't take it anymore. He stepped forward to pull Carl out. But just then, the rope started moving. They pulled him up and saw that Carl had completed the build. Carl slowly climbed out of the water. His body was frozen purple, but his eyes were still full of determination. Carl officially graduated and joined the Navy, but later, he was demoted and suspended for disobeying an order. Meanwhile, the instructor spiraled into alcoholism and bar fights. He stood trial multiple times in military court. Years later, he saw Carl on TV, now a Master Chief. He proudly told those around him, "That's my student." Carl's mission was to recover a nuclear warhead. He pulled it off flawlessly, but just as they began lifting the nuke, something went wrong.